It was always the car that looked like it could fly. The DeLorean is still a futuristic machine 30 years after its manufacture, but now it's getting an upgrade that will once again take drivers on a trip through time, as my colleague Bill Weir finds out in tonight's Sign of the Times.
From the thriller zombie shuffle to the flock of seagulls haircut, there are countless icons of the awesome 80s. But if you had to pick a vehicle that defined the decade, it's tough to beat the gull-wing creation that brought us back to the future.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
What are the words that leap to most people's minds when you say DeLorean?
You know, the rise and fall of the original company, the movies.
So Marty McFly and cocaine are the ones that leap into my mind.
Exactly. I was just getting there too.
It all began with John DeLorean, who left General Motors in the 70s to build his dream. But by the early 80s, he was drowning in red ink, so DeLorean was allegedly enticed into an elaborate money laundering plot involving suitcases full of cocaine. He was arrested, tried, and found not guilty due to entrapment.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of it, the company went bankrupt, went into liquidation. We've taken some of the trunk space out.
That is when Stephen Wynn got involved. Over the years, this mechanic from Liverpool bought up all the unused parts, moved to Houston, and has been the go-to guy for the roughly 7,000 DeLorean owners around the world. But a few years ago, he had a radical idea. Why not bring this 80s antique back to the future with electricity?
So this is it. This is the battery, huh?
Well, this is the battery pack at the rear.
Plug into the wall overnight, and Wynn says these lithium batteries will take this car between 70 and 100 miles on a full charge, at around 2 cents a mile.
This is where you'll plug the car into the charger.
But since you'll pay between 90 and 100,000 bucks for one, you probably want to know how it handles.
So can we put on the Miami Vice soundtrack and take it for a spin?
Let's do it.
All right.
And off we go to the Houston Motorsports Park, a track too tight to open her up, but enough to get a sense of what an engine-free ride is like, nestled into an interior design during the Reagan administration.
The decision to take these electric is so interesting. It's so ironic. I mean, this symbol of 80s excess in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You think there's a Earth-conscious market for it now?
I do. I really do. I was really inspired when I seen the Tesla Roadster. We're not trying to outperform the Tesla, but we're trying to do something different. You know, we're trying to deliver a cool electric car.
But cool is in the eye of the beholder. And you gotta wonder, who plunks down 6 figures for a punchline from the wedding singer?
Puke in the car, all right?
I like those blue lights. That's hot.
Quitman Stevens, that's who.
0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds in stainless steel electric quiet glory. How do you beat that?
DeLorean is trusting that the market is filled with a lot more guys like Quitman. Maybe one day an oil-free world will look back to the future, back when electrified nostalgia helped fuel the change.